This is Valley View News.
There were worries some victims of Hurricane Sandy would have trouble getting to the polls on Election Day.
Voting locations were changed because some were damaged during Superstorm Sandy. New Jersey's Lieutenant Governor told voters to report to the same location if they were in doubt.
What they will find instead is a Department of Defense truck with a well-situated National Guardsman and a big sign that says "Vote here." So go back to your polling place anyway.
New Jersey officials said they would allow people to vote by email. 143,000 voters were to be reassigned to different polling cities in New York City. Flooding and snowstorms caused election officials to postpone some early voting. Election officials predicted that every polling place would have power restored by Election Day.
The U.S. Army has released details in a rare criminal case against a high-ranking officer. General Jeffrey Sinclair has been accused of committing sex crimes against 5 women. Prosecutors say the crimes happened between 2007 and 2012 in Iraq, Afghanistan, Germany, and Texas. There have only been 2 other court-martial cases against Army generals in recent years.
United Airlines has become the first carrier to fly passengers on the new Boeing 787 Dreamliner. Production of the Dreamliner was delayed more than 3 years because of problems at Boeing. The plane is designed to be less costly to operate than other jets. It is 20% more fuel efficient because half of the plane is made of lightweight material. Boeing claims the Dreamliner is the most technologically advanced commercial jet in the world. There is one complaint from some passengers: the Dreamliner does not have Wi-Fi.
One of the largest crowds in Hollywood got together to celebrate this year's Halloween costume carnival. Valley View News reporter Rigo Villalobos was there to witness the festive night.
This was a colorful night filled with the kind of creative costumes West Hollywood is known for. People wearing some of the wildest Halloween outfits, and some even took their pets.
With live music, dances, contests, and of course, with hundreds of thousands of Halloween costumes is how West Hollywood celebrated its annual Halloween Costume Carnival 2012 on Santa Monica Boulevard. Under the surveillance of the local authorities, around 500,000 people commemorated the holiday.
Thank you!
This carnival is known as one of the world's largest celebrations of Halloween.
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween!
With only a couple days until the presidential elections, many of the people who said present at this party decided to promote their favorite candidates.
It'll be political, it'll be just fun.
And some of those who forgot about politics and about the traditional door-to-door trick-or-treating decided to attend the carnival. As they say, not only because the admission was free of charge, but because each of them had fun in their own expressive way.
I had a bunch of old CDs laying around, so I figured I had to do something with them. Now it's being green, I'm recycling.
And while some people from different parts of the world enjoyed being part of the carnival,
we're from New Jersey.
We're from Israel, and we're partying in California.
Others were happy to show the world their own creations. How long did it take you to do this?
I've been working on like a couple hours a day since July.
My boyfriend made the costume, I did the makeup myself.
Stacy Jacks, baby.
Several streets had to be closed down until approximately 6 in the morning the next day. While vehicles were not permitted to drive on the streets due to the event, pedestrians and partygoers were, as they say, rocking the night away. And since everyone's having fun in this festival, I decided to do the same and become the superhero I always wanted to be. In West Hollywood, this is Super Rigo Villalobos for Valley View News.
I couldn't help myself. I had to dress up, and the shows ended at 11, but many of the partygoers stayed until about 3 in the morning. Back to you.
Taylor Swift's new album has hit a sales record, and Britney Spears might be writing a book about her life. Vanessa Soto has more in entertainment news.
Here's the scoop. Actor Leonardo DiCaprio and model Erin Heatherton have ended their relationship. The couple vacationed last year after getting married, but DiCaprio became busy shooting movies this year. DiCaprio's busy schedule could have caused their split a few weeks ago. The movie Wreck-It Ralph has made more money on its opening weekend than any other Walt Disney animation. The video animation made $49 million. The character Ralph is tired of being overlooked, so he tries to prove he can be a hero by going through a journey in video game. Disney representatives say they are looking forward to the movie doing well during the holidays. The boy band One Direction has released a new song, but some people do not like the message it may send to teenagers. Lyrics in the song, Little Things, point out insecurities a girl may have. Some lyrics say, "You've never loved your stomach or your thighs, but you're perfect to me." Critics say One Direction promotes insecurities for their listeners. The song was written by British singer Ed Sheeran. Pop superstar Britney Spears plans to write a novel. There's been speculation it will be a memoir, but Spears says it won't. The novel most likely will be a fictional account of moments in her life. Country singer Taylor Swift's new album has sold more in 1 week than any other in the past 10 years. Swift says she can't believe she has set a new record. The album Red sold over $1 million in the first week. Swift also earned her third #1 album on the Billboard chart with Red. Let's see if the country superstar will be taking home awards for this album at the Grammys next year. That's all for entertainment. Back to you.
After the break, college students are spending lots of time on their cell phones, and it's causing problems in the classroom.
And an elephant in South Korea speaks Korean. You'll see it right here after the break.
Do you like this top? It's so gay.
Really?
Yeah, it's totally gay.
You know, you really shouldn't say that.
Say what?
Well, say that something's gay when you mean it's bad. It's insulting. What if every time something was bad, everybody said, "Oh, that's so girl wearing a skirt as a top"?
Oh, you are.
Those are cute jeans, though. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
A suicide bomber killed at least 50 people in Syria. The attack targeted a center used by security forces and militias that support President Assad. Most of the people killed were soldiers, but at least 2 civilians were also killed. The bombing is one of the deadliest attacks against President Assad's forces during the 20-month-old uprising.
Thousands of motorists in Beijing, China have been evacuated from a main highway after snow trapped them in their vehicles. More than 1,000 cars and trucks were stuck at the Beijing-Tibet Express Highway near the Great Wall of China. Police officers escorted people out of vehicles as workers cleared the roads. The sudden snowfall dumped more than 3 feet on the roads. It was the highest ever for this time of year.
Forecasters in Southern California are concerned about the combination of low humidity, high temperatures, and high winds. Forecasters say winds could increase up to 40 miles an hour. Red flag warnings are in effect in Los Angeles and Ventura counties for the mountains, where fire danger is high. The temperature is expected to drop to the mid-50s by the end of the week.
A $23 million Super Lotto Plus ticket has finally been claimed, just weeks before the deadline to cash it in. Julie Cervera says she realized she had the winning ticket when she saw a video surveillance photo of her daughter buying the ticket.
Woke me up and she's like, "Charlena, this is you. You have to see it." And I was like, no, I'll see it in the morning. So I went to sleep. I woke up and I had all these missed calls and texts, and I was like, oh my God, wait a minute, maybe I should see what this is. As soon as I pulled it up, I was like, oh my God, that is me.
The ticket was set to expire November 26th.
Many college students are using their cell phones in class to keep up with their social media. Valley View News reporter Camilla Rambaldi spoke to several CSUN students and a professor about the smartphone habits.
Cell phones are no longer just regular phones for students. Students say they are a 24/7 tool to communicate and keep up with social media.
I go on Facebook and I go on Instagram, taking pictures. I'm just everywhere.
I'm checking for emails or trying to remember what I need to do for the day, so it's kind of like a working task.
It's also a means of communication, keeping in touch with friends on Facebook, Twitter, internet, emails, and doing school projects, keeping in touch with my Moodle.
CSUN students also say they need to check their phones constantly throughout the day.
How many times? Well, all day, except when I'm driving.
But as the constant use of cell phones continue, students also need to be on their phones in class. A recent survey by Bryant University in Rhode Island says 66% of students can't be without their phones by their side in class. CSUN Communication Studies professor Rhonda Piccarelli says she has to teach class differently because of students always being on their phone.
I sit in circles now, largely because when I have students in rows, they can just kind of disappear and check out in the back of the class, and I take that really personally.
Piccarelli also says cell phone use is affecting the way students learn.
The greatest difference that I notice is students' inability to be in one place at one time, to be really fully present for their experience, for their class experience, whatever that might be.
Piccarelli also adds students have become too busy posting their lives on social media without realizing how much time they actually spend doing so.
Students say the use of cell phones has become part of their daily lives and that they just can't get away from them. In Northridge, this is Camilla Rambaldi for Valley View News.
Apple says it has sold 3 million iPad mini tablets during the 3-day opening weekend. The iPad mini is the 4th generation iPad. Currently, only models with Wi-Fi are available for sale. Previously, Apple sold both Wi-Fi models and those that could connect to mobile data networks. The company had promised iPads that connect to data networks would be available by the middle of this month. But now it is saying the device will be available in a few weeks.
Finally, the LA Lakers win their first game of the season, and the CSUN women's soccer team captures its first Big West Conference title. Emily Davies is going to tell us all about it and more. Hey, Emily.
Hey, Mark. Yeah, that's right. The Lakers went into the game against Detroit Pistons looking for their first win of the season. Early in the first, Kobe on the fast break with a little shake and bake to put the Lakers up by 6. He messed around and nearly got a triple-double with 15 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists. World peace up the court to Darius Morris, the lob to Dwight Howard, and boom shakalaka. Midway through the third, Blake to Howard, and rest in peace, rim and net. Howard finished the game with 28 points and 7 rebounds. The Lakers went on to win 108-79. The LA Galaxy fell to the San Jose Earthquakes in the first leg of the Western Conference semifinals at the Home Depot Center. Defender Victor Bernardez scored on a deep free kick from 30 yards out 4 minutes into stoppage time. The second leg of the series is in Santa Clara. Now on to CSUN Sports. The women's soccer team is heading into the NCAA tournament. This comes after a 1-0 defeat over Cal State Fullerton in the championship game of the Big West tournament. Forward Melissa Fernandez earned tournament MVP after her game winner in the 92nd minute. The men's soccer team will head into the Big West tournament as the #1 seed from the South. The men's will host their semifinal game against Cal Poly. Now let's check out some American football. Last week, a couple NFL rookies had spectacular games in the air and on the ground. In Indianapolis, Andrew Luck, the #1 draft pick, threw for a rookie record 433 yards. Luck had 2 touchdowns, and the Colts beat the Dolphins 23-20. In Oakland, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers rookie running back Doug Martin just went off on the Raiders. Martin rushed for 251 yards and 4 touchdowns. Both of those are Bucs franchise records. Martin became the first player in NFL history to have rushing touchdowns of 45, 65, and 70 yards in the same game. The Bucs beat the Raiders 42-32. The USC Trojans went into the battle with the #4 ranked Oregon Ducks. Let's go to the highlights. Early in the second, Trojans down. Matt Barkley drops back, surveys the field, and connects with Marquise Lee for a 75-yard touchdown. But the night belonged to Oregon's Kenjon Barner. Barner breaks through the defense one more time and puts an exclamation point on his 321-yard, 5-touchdown performance on the ground. For the Trojans, Barkley had 484 yards and 5 touchdowns through the air, but it was not enough for the Trojans. They fell into the Ducks 62-51. Sounds like a basketball score. In college football, UCLA routed Arizona 66-10 at the Rose Bowl. Bruins running back Jonathan Franklin rushed for 162 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was now surpassed Gaston Green for the Bruins' career rushing record. UCLA quarterback Brett Hundley passed for 288 yards, including 3 touchdowns. The Bruins improved their record to 7-2. UCLA will travel north this weekend to face Washington State. And that's it for sports. Now back to you.
Michelangelo's painting on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel celebrated its 500th anniversary. Work on the ceiling started in 1508. Pope Julius II decided to make some changes to the room and commissioned Michelangelo to paint the ceiling. The painting shows stories from the book of Genesis. It depicts the iconic creation of Adam that shows God reaching down from heaven and touching the finger of Adam.
An elephant, that's right, an elephant in a South Korea zoo can imitate human speech. The elephant's name is Koshik and says words in Korean like hello and sit down. Yeah. It is unclear exactly why Koshik started mimicking human speech. Biologists say he was the only elephant living at the Everland Zoo for about 5 years during his youth. Koshik only associated with people in that important phase of bonding and development. Thanks for watching Valley View News. I'm Mark Sherman.
And I'm Christina Maffatino. Have a great day.